You were born into a story long before you could read it. A story written in symbols, bound in pages, and called truth. But few ever stop to ask who wrote the story, or what it really means. Most people don't know how we even got the Bible. They imagine it descended from the clouds, perfectly sealed in holiness. But history tells a more human tale, one shaped by councils, politics, and interpretation. The Catholic Church gave the West its Bible. Its scholars chose which words would become eternal and which would fade into heresy. They decided the books of the New Testament in 382 AD, and even the Old Testament wasn't finalized until long after Christ's death. The Bible, then, wasn't found. It was selected. It wasn't delivered. It was decided. And that realization doesn't make it less sacred. It makes it more human. Because inspiration isn't dictation. It's not divine words falling like raindrops from the sky. It's the mysterious current that moves through the human heart, filtered, translated, and limited by the language of its time. Every prophet, every mystic, every poet speaks through distortion. They are like old radios, receiving a pure signal from something beyond words and translating it through the static of human experience. That's what Alan Watts meant when he said, "Divine inspiration isn't what you think." It's not a cosmic voice whispering orders. It's the quiet unfolding of love, wonder, and awakening. When someone says they feel one with God, the Western world calls it madness. But in the East, it's enlightenment. The same experience, two different languages. If a man from Arkansas feels the infinite and says, "I am Jesus Christ," it's because that's the only vocabulary his culture gave him. But if he had read the Upanishads, he might have said, "I am one with Brahman," and his village would have nodded in agreement. You see, truth wears many masks, and every religion is just one translation of the same silence. Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Lao Tzu, these were not gods pretending to be human, but humans who remembered they were divine. They experienced what mystics call cosmic consciousness, the sudden, wordless knowing that you and the universe are not two things. It's not belief. It's not theory. It's the moment you awaken from the dream of separateness. You realize the you you've been protecting, the story, the fear, the identity, was never the real you at all. The ego is a costume. Consciousness is the actor. And in that moment of awakening, everything you see, every sound, every movement, every person, is recognized as part of the same great breathing. Call it God, call it Tao, call it energy. The name doesn't matter. The feeling does. When you feel it, you understand why love is called divine. Because love is what happens when the illusion of me dissolves into we. That's the real inspiration behind the Bible. Not perfect words, but imperfect humans trying to describe the indescribable. When the mystic says, "I am one with God," he isn't claiming power. He's confessing union. He's remembering that the light he prays to has been shining through his eyes all along. That realization is what Jesus lived. That is what Buddha saw beneath the Bodhi tree. That is what the prophets, poets, and saints all tried to express in their own limited languages. The tragedy of religion is that we built walls around what was meant to set us free. We argued over the wording and forgot the meaning. We worshipped the book and lost sight of the breath that spoke it. True inspiration isn't trapped in scripture. It's alive in experience. It's the way your heart expands when you forgive. It's the stillness behind your thoughts. It's the quiet voice inside that says, "There's more to you than this." So maybe divine revelation never stopped. Maybe it's happening right now, in you, as you listen. Because when you look into someone's eyes and feel the sacred staring back, that's scripture too. Not written in ink, but in being. You are not separate from the divine. You are the divine, forgetting, remembering, and rediscovering itself, over and over again. And when you finally see that, you'll understand what the mystics meant when they said, "To whom shall I preach? For everywhere I look, I see only God."
Play.